Hello, welcome to this short presentation on Netcool Omnibus event flow. Event flow in a multi-tier configuration involves events moving through three layers of object servers before arriving at the desktop. At each layer, there is a step in event processing that may alter the event, and even prevent the event from reaching the desktop layer. Events in Netcool Omnibus are defined by their @identifier field. This field is usually made up of the generic clear fields, where generic clearing is used for problem resolution. It is important to use a simple string of alphanumeric characters in @identifier, especially if there is a risk of multi-byte or language-specific characters being misinterpreted. Netcool Omnibus interprets characters based on their component's locale settings. These must be kept consistent throughout the system. The collection layer object server sets the server name and server serial. This must remain constant throughout the life of the event because the gateways use these fields for event processing. This means every event is uniquely defined by the @identifier field and the server name and server serial fields within the system. Events are forwarded by the collection layer gateway to the aggregation layer for event processing, provided the sent to ag field is set to 0. After the event is forwarded, sent to ag is set to 1. In the aggregation layer, the event is processed by the object server that is acting as the primary object server. The aggregation layer must only have one object server acting as the primary. If there are custom triggers, these must be disabled in the backup object server and become active only if the backup object server is the acting primary object server. The aggregation gateway maintains a copy of the events in the backup object server in case of failover. The display layer gateways copy the events from the aggregation layer to the display object servers. Events in the display object servers should never contain event processing details, as these will be lost in the event of a display layer gateway synchronization. WebGUI reads events from the display layer, as required, either via the WebGUI cache or directly from the object server read cloud. Updates from the user are sent to the aggregation layer as well as the display layer. If the updates fail at the aggregation layer, then the updates will be lost, as the display layer is a copy of the aggregation layer data. It is therefore important to maintain consistent user access privileges.